With everything we been through, that shoulda kept us close. I could feel a change, but didn't wanna let you go. You plant a seeds of hate and use your tears to help them grow. But for your pain,
That was a real ball. Real ball. Sir, got the pads on the day. It's gonna be some doping. Hey now, what you say now?
This B'More Dezzy, we back in the woods room. I was going to wait until Lamar got back to camp before I did the actual training camp review and highlights. I know everybody like Tyler Huntley and Trace McSorley, but I was waiting for my man's Lamar to get back. So that's when I felt as though the real highlights was going to roll in. And so now I bring them to y'all. I'm going to give y'all the rundown of the injuries, give y'all highlights, and giving y'all the news coming out of camp with the new arrivals. Y'all get to see some plays, get to see a couple of our wide receivers that we're really excited about this year, get to see a couple of the defensive players. So let's get right into it. First thing first, the people that was absent from Monday's training camp practice, Nick Boyle, he's out with knee surgery. You got Calais Campbell, he was out. McPhee was out. Jimmy Smith was out with a low ankle sprain. Nigel Warrior was out also with a bone bruise on the knee. Ronnie Stanley, we finally got to see him back in action for the first time. That was a good sign to see him out there running individual drills, going up against a couple of players. He wasn't really doing full contact, but he was doing a couple of pass blocking reps. And it was just good to see him out there after having surgery and that injury that he sustained in November. So that was good news. Bozeman did end up leaving practice, and they said he had a strain. They didn't say exactly what he strained, but they said he left after about 90 minutes of practice because he apparently strained something. And right now he's our starting center, so we hope he's back really soon. Kevin Zeitler, it is confirmed that he has a foot sprain. They said it shouldn't be like a month thing, but they are taking it week by week with this. But hopefully he will be ready for the season opener. I doubt we will see him during the preseason. We may have found our third tight end. Josh Oliver on Monday recorded 2 touchdowns. Y'all see Oliver right here. They got him lined up against Clark. He straight beat Clark to the outside. So he's definitely been making plays in camp. I can definitely see him getting in some reps. He's not your usual typical tight end. Against they said he impressed. 7-7 drills in the red zone. He caught a long touchdown pass over Anthony Avery that was for about 20 yards. And then he came right back and caught another pass that was a 17-yard touchdown over the middle from Lamar. Marquise Brown was back out there running personal drills. He wasn't doing any team reps, but he was out there doing sprints. And there was a coach, it was a trainer right there next to him, right in his vicinity, watching his every move just to make sure he didn't tweak anything. Rashad Bateman was back after missing 7 practices, muscle tightness, so he was back out there finally working on Monday. Getting into the highlights on Monday and a couple other highlights from the previous days. On Monday, they said Lamar Jackson was 19 of 25 on his passes. They detailed a couple of his reps, but mostly they just know he was throwing a lot of spirals.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
All his passes, he was throwing them bitches like he really did watch that Tom Brady video that I put up of him throwing into the jug machine. It looks like Lamar was also throwing into the jug machine a little bit. He hit Mark Andrews over the middle on multiple occasions. Mark Andrews just was working the middle, working Chuck Clark for real. Him and Chuck Clark was battling out there. So as you see, Andrews dropped the pass, which he should have caught. We done seen him do that a couple times in the game, but I ain't saying nothing. Andrews is definitely one of the top tight ends in the league. I wouldn't trade him for nobody except Kelsey or George Kittle. I'm just saying. And then here you go, the next play, when he come back in, boom, they go right back to him. Look how he charged up, and this is just training camp. Look how he charged up. That's why you need somebody like that on your team, for real. Look at him, right back. Now, Chuck Clark, he going to tackle him. See, now this is when we don't need Chuck Clark doing. Now, because they're attacking you, now you going to tackle them. Now, like I said, remember last year, he got mad because Mark Andrews was beating up on Earl Thomas and got Earl Thomas kicked off the team after Earl Thomas punched him in the face. But once I ain't trying to incite no violence. I'm just saying that's what happened last year. But here you go. Look how he pushed Chuck Clark. Like, get off me. It was like they was taking those reps personal. They did say Lamar wants to play against the Saints. Harbaugh obviously is the last person that has the choice on that. But I believe at least letting him play one series is good, just to get him some reps, get him out there with those new receivers. And more playing time against actual competition is always great for real. James Prochet, they say, has really been showing off, man. And like I said, when I did my State of the Ravens, they said he's been going off in training camp. He had a strong mini camp, and against competition, the Marlon Humphreys of the world, against the Marcus Peters and the Anthony Averets and those guys, he's been doing what he has to do, making one-handed catches over the middle, running slant routes. They said he had a over-the-shoulder catch against Chuck Clark in the back of the end zone. So we see Prochet here lined up in the slot. He's going to work across the face of the defender quick and catches the ball in his pocket and just accelerates. You see his speed. You seen his stride. It's the same play they run with Hollywood Brown. They got him in that. I guess this would be, the second string. And he would be the starting outside receiver. So you see that. He's shifty, man. I can see him, like I said, he deserves some starting. I wouldn't say starting time, but he definitely deserves some playing time through this season. Get the ball in his hand and just see what he can do with it. He's not looking to go down. Catches away from his body. Hands. That's what you want to see. Hands. That was a great catch right there. When I watched this tape last year when we drafted him, no lie, he gave me Antonio Brown type characteristics coming out of SMU. He was their number one receiver. They worked for us. There you go. That right after he caught the touchdown, one of our receiver coaches went straight up and started coaching him up right afterwards. They say it might have been a little push off. Cleveland, he's still, they say his power was definitely been showcased since the pads have came on. As you seen at the beginning of the video, he came in looking like a goddamn Jack in a beanstalk, like a giant for real. Just walking down the goddamn ramp with club feet. They said Ben Cleveland's power has really been evident on run blocking plays. And he's been really good in pass blocking sets too. So that's awesome to hear about him. He might not be a starter right now, but with the Zeitler injury, he may have to be in sooner than we expected. Odafe has also been strong. Here we got Owe lined up as defensive end. And watch how he just beat Schofield right at bat. Watch this. Easy. That would have been easy money. That would have been a strip sack fumble. McSorley had to jump to the left, but the play would have been dead already. Here he go with his hands off the ground up in a 2-point stance. Wish he would have got his hands up because he could have easily deflected that pass. But you see, there was nobody that was stopping him from getting to that quarterback. That quarterback had to throw the ball. Look how disciplined he is in those look how disciplined he is in those play action. Look at that. He rarely bite on those. He makes the best read. Lamar probably would have got out of there, but that's Lamar. Nobody else would have got past him. Look how much ground he covers. Who was going to outrun him? Strong. He's been showing his pass rushing prowess and his run blocking prowess and his pass coverage prowess. They say he followed Mark Andrews on a pass where Mark Andrews caught and was trying to get into the end zone, and he forced the fumble and recovered it on Mark Andrews. and that was down the field. I don't know, may have been about 15 to 20 yards. But they show his reps, man. He looked fast. He's getting around the edge on veterans. They showed one rep against Michael Schofield, a veteran they signed this offseason, where he got right around it with no problem. Like, so he's definitely been showing that he was worth that first round pick. Even though Deion Kane didn't practice Monday, he's really been displaying the skills that he displayed at Clemson. They say Matabuke is still dominating the line. I can see Matabuke replacing Brandon Williams when he decides to leave or whenever the Ravens decide to let him go. I don't really see the Ravens keeping Brandon Williams after either this year or next year. Either that or he takes a pay cut. $13 million just for a run stopper. He doesn't really get a lot of sacks. He doesn't get sacks at all, to be honest with you. I mean, I was just being modest just now. Thinking his whole career, over and under, 5 sacks. I think that's fair right there. But he is a great run stopper. When he's not in the game, when he's out, you definitely see the difference. The run defense is not the same, but the Ravens have made an improvement in bringing in more guys that can compensate for when he's out. Third-year cornerback, Chris Westry, they say he's really been making plays. He was undrafted. We signed him this year in free agency, but he's 6'4", and they say he's had about 7 to 8 pass deflections, and it's not one receiver out there that then outran him. That's by their reports. So as far as somebody that can come in and probably help out on the defense that we really weren't thinking of, that might make the team, he's one of those guys. Chris Westry. So keep that name in mind. He was wearing number 30 as far as I seen during the training camp. Sammy Watkins has been consistent along with Prochet and Devin Duvernay and those guys out there making plays, man. I really think this receiving core could be one of those ones that we talk about for a long time. Lamar, if he able to find these guys and he just doesn't focus all on the tight ends, but if he's able to spread it out and get it to these receivers, a lot of these receivers can make plays after the catch. You talk about Duvernay, Prochet, Sammy Watkins. When they get the ball, they run like running backs after the catch for real. So just get them the ball. I like to see those screen plays. They ran a couple to Sammy Watkins. Now I'm hoping Greg Roman can implement these type of plays during the game, because this will definitely open up our offense. We can get this to any one of our receivers. This should be a big play. And I just hope they be able to really implement that, because we all know how Greg Roman in game time, it's a different story. Side notes, Lamar, he still hasn't taken the vaccine. So hopefully somebody talks him into that. If not, they probably going to hit him with another COVID sooner or later during the season. I'm sure that's going to come. So I just hope he get the vaccine so they can get that out the way. So we ain't got to worry about him missing a game or no funny business during the season. That's the only thing I'm saying. Also, Justin Houston turned down a higher contract that was offered to him from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that gives him big kudos from us. The Ravens flock love to hear that. So that's a little more hatred that we can just add towards the Pittsburgh Steelers. A little more shit we can rub on them when we see them. Hopefully Justin Houston able to get about 10 sacks when we play against him in those 2 games. And I was just being modest just now. But as far as the training camp and everything, Lamar Jackson is back. That's the great news. These receivers is out there making plays. The defense is looking good. definitely set for a good playoff run, hopefully a championship run. I ain't going to get too far ahead of myself. You already know you got to keep the goal in mind, keep it one game at a time. But this is B'More Dezzy. We out.
With everything we been through, that shoulda kept us close. I could feel a change, but didn't wanna let you go. You plant the seeds of hate and use your tears to help them grow. But for your pain